You're watching Newsday TV. Thank you for joining us. I'm Drew Scott. A judge has ruled that the jury in the George Santos fraud trial will be anonymous. Virginia Huey was in court today for a pre-trial conference.
Disgraced former Congressman George Santos is gone from Congress, but his criminal trial still looms. At today's pretrial hearing, a judge ruled Santos's fraud trial will have an anonymous jury. The judge rejected a defense motion, however, to have prospective jurors fill out a lengthy questionnaire gauging their opinions of Santos when they report for jury selection.
She said they're impersonal, inefficient. So what you're going to see is individual jurors questioned by the attorneys for both sides, and that's how they're going to select a jury pool for this trial.
Make way.
Santos was expelled from Congress last December after a blistering ethics investigation found overwhelming evidence he had broken the law and exploited his public position for personal profit. Santos has pleaded not guilty to a 23-count indictment charging him with wire fraud, making false statements to the Federal Election Commission, and identity theft. Prosecutors told the judge they expect to call about 36 witnesses, including some victims of Santos's alleged crimes. But prosecutors said it's still unclear whether they will call former Santos campaign manager Nancy Marks to testify. Marks pleaded guilty to conspiring with Santos to commit wire fraud and other charges last October. Defense attorneys said they want to call Marks as a witness and plan to file a motion to compel immunity for her.
With no immunity in place, that she might plead the Fifth, and that would hurt them from being able to, wage the defense that they wish to implement.
Santos declined comment. The judge urged his defense team and prosecutors to work together to streamline redundant witness testimony during the trial, which is expected to last about a month.
They're concerned about, jurors checking out and, being a little too bored if they call that many witnesses.
Jury selection is set for September 9th. The judge said 800 potential jurors were originally summoned to report for jury duty. That number is now down to 340 because some were excused for various reasons. For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Thank you, Virginia. And you can read more on this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. First, in Newsday, a lawyer representing a Long Island man in a police brutality case has been called to testify. Court documents show the subpoena also directs the attorney to hand over all the documents he has related to the case to a federal grand jury.
This research that was done in this investigation was done over 2.5 years ago, and the U.S. Attorney's Office is now just finding out about it because Suffolk kept it a secret.
Now, attorneys for Christopher Cruz filed the lawsuit against Suffolk County and Suffolk Police back in 2022. The lawsuit alleges that Cruz was punched and kicked while in police custody. You can read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. A woman injured in an alleged home invasion has died. Here's video of the scene from June. Police say that Linda Levy was attacked in her bed during an early morning break-in. The 64-year-old died in the hospital last week where she was still being treated for her injuries. The suspect fled the scene and police are still investigating. The host of MTV's Catfish got into a bad bike accident out on the East End. Nev Schulman posted about the crash on his Instagram page. He says he was riding his bike before picking up his son from school when he collided with a truck, breaking his neck. The 40-year-old thanks Stony Brook Southampton's ICU staff for their, quote, incredible knowledge and care. Oyster Bay is considering a 6-month pause on shellfishing, creating tensions between local baymen and commercial fishermen. The town says the moratorium would allow for a study of the bay and to find out how many shellfish are still in the area. This would cover about 1,400 acres of underwater land that has been exclusively leased by a private company for 3 decades. The town is expected to vote on the moratorium next month. Disney is telling a Long Island man that he cannot move forward with a wrongful death lawsuit because he was a Disney Plus subscriber. A Plainview couple visited Disney last year on vacation. The wife died from an allergic reaction after allegedly telling servers of her severe allergies. Jeffrey Piccolo, the widower, filed a lawsuit against Disney earlier this year. Newsday's Quick Strike investigative reporter Robert Brodsky explains how Disney is justifying this.
So Disney is making an argument in their motion that because Mr. Piccolo, 3 years prior to this incident, signed up for a Disney Plus 1-month trial. This is for their streaming service, that buried deep in the user agreement for the streaming service that says you cannot sue the company, that all disputes between yourself and the Disney company must go to arbitration. This similar agreement was done on an app in which Mr. Piccolo used to buy the tickets to go to Epcot. Unfortunately, they never got to use those tickets to Epcot because she died the day beforehand.
You can read more on this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Well, a teenage girl is living out her dreams on an East End racetrack. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Kind of nerve-wracking. You have a lot of thoughts. It's like, I hope I do good, I hope I don't wreck. What's gonna happen? Who's gonna win? And you're just gripping the steering wheel so hard. And then it's go time. To be a race car driver, I think it's really cool and really exciting. When I'm about to go out, my nerves definitely hit me, and more than half the time I tear up. I'm not too sure why, but then I'll be out there and you kind of just focus on the track and what you're doing. You don't even realize there's people watching it. If you're under a red flag or you're going around under caution, you actually take a second to look around. It's really cool because it's like there's so many people, even though it's a small track, and it's like it's a lot of pressure, but it definitely is a great feeling. I think the best part about racing is not only the experience of getting in the car and going out and racing, but the friends that come with it. I've met so many amazing people through racing, and they are my closest friends. My parents are my biggest supporters. My dad, he trailers my car to and from the track every race day, and I can tell you those car rides are fun on the way back because it'll be like 10 o'clock at night and we're singing with the windows down, going down the highway. And my mom, she is just so excited. She thinks it's so cool. She's always posting on Facebook all these pictures, and I have the best parents.
We've always loved racing. She loves watching racing. She's always been a bit of a daredevil in a lot of ways. I think it's amazing. I think it's a very good role model, She always tries to do her best and gets out there, and when she's a driver out there, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. We're definitely both very nervous. We try not to let it show. We try to support her, in every way that we can, and just keep each other calm. I think we're her biggest fans, and
definitely.
We'll just always be there to support her and root her on.
Wow, she is amazing. Read more about racing in Riverhead on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now, the TV voice of the Rangers is retiring. MSG Networks says that Sam Rosen will retire after this upcoming season. This will be his 40th season as the team's play-by-play announcer. There's no word yet on who will replace him. A Long Island contractor is joining Bachelor Nation. West Babylon's Christopher Stallworth is one of 24 senior men looking for love on The Golden Bachelorette. This is the show's inaugural season, and it premieres September the 18th. Now let's take a look at your Long Island weather. Partly cloudy overnight, lows in the 60s. Easy sleeping, mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the low 80s. And now here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Drew Scott. Thank you for watching.